Hello there. My name is Garson Gardiner. I'm 12 years old and I attend the John Gray High School. My essay is entitled Caymanian Pride, Lest We Forget. The bell rung. Last period was history with Miss Carter, my favorite class. She was quite a tall lady with a peculiar demeanor. Her jawline was very prominent and her nose was straight and sharp. Her mouth was very broad, and her hair was held up with a hairband in a bun. She was a bold lady and she was sympathetic. Her energy could light up a dark room, and the class enjoyed having her. Towards the end of a very good lesson, Mrs. Carter made a special announcement. Okay, students, listen up. The government has created the first National History Trivia Championship. This will be a great opportunity for you. These flyers have more information about the competition, she explained. The class groaned, but not me. I wanted to make sure that I was ready. This was finally my chance. After a couple of seconds, Miss Carter had reached my row with the flyers. But I realized that a few of the kids who had received the papers first stared open mouthed at the paper. A prize of $1,500? A kid named Isaac exclaimed. This could buy an iPhone. More kids realized that the huge cash prize too and began to chat non-stop amongst themselves. 1,500? I thought experience was enough, but with a prize like this, experience was out of the window. There are so many things I could get with this money. The whole school was buzzing like bees about the competition and the grand prize. I ran to the library as fast as I could when school was dismissed. I checked for textbooks on the history of the Cayman Islands, but none were there. Thinking I was in the wrong section, I kindly asked the librarian for his assistance. Sorry, son, but a group of hyper seventh graders cleared the shelf off them a few minutes ago, he answered. That night, I got my parents to sign up the details for the registration form, even though I had no idea where I was going to get the information from. Honey, I know that you love reading textbooks and the library never had any available, but why don't you try getting some information from another source? I'm listening, I said. Well, Mr. Dowell is the oldest member of our church and our community, as we celebrated with him last week his 98th birthday. He's going to always be here, as he has seen many storms. Mr. Dowell is a great man of sagacity and somewhat of a local historian. He was once a seaman who traveled many countries. I'll arrange for you to meet with him tomorrow. I'm sure he will be a lot of help. I could not wait for the next day, as it was Saturday, to sit down with Mr. Dowell in preparation for the quiz. Tomorrow came faster than the speed of light. My mother dropped me off to an old-time Caymanian building. The color of the house was salmon with green edgings. Flowers were planted in front of the stone yard, and a mahogany porch led to the inside of the house. Sitting on a rocking chair was a very old man. Wrinkles blanketed him, and he sagged beyond measure. His nose was very droopy, and the two corners of his mouth hung down like a permanent frown. Beside him was a worn walking stick. Is that the man that I'm expecting, Mom? Yes, honey. This is Mr. Dowell, she replied as she beckoned for me to follow her. This way. She led me towards the man. We slowly climbed up the short steps that directed us to him. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you, I said, after Mom had said hello and introduced me. I offered my hand, and he took it with a very firm grasp. Good afternoon, young man. I'm happy you took the time to come and have a chat with me. As most young people, your age behave as we do not exist, and they would rather be on socialite media and Facebook or whatever they call it these days than to bother with an old man like me. We started interacting, and the questions just started coming and never stopped. Mr. Doe, I've always wanted to know this. Who discovered the Cayman Islands, and what year was it first sighted? Bobo, I am happy that you asked. As my grandfather always used to say, if you don't know where you're from, you don't know where you're going. The Cayman Islands were discovered May 10, 1503 by Christopher Columbus, and he called them Las Tortugas due to the amount of freshwater turtles living there at the time. Wow, I never knew that's how it all came about. That's really interesting. But what about the first settlers though? When did they come? Who were they? The first settlers were the Bawdens and the Watlers in 1658. You ever realize the pattern in the last names around here? Ah, I see now. Who governed the islands at the time? Well, England took control of the Cayman Islands in 1670. That's why all of the governors are from the UK. Ah, I heard about it in history class about the Treaty of Madrid. What is that? And how did it affect us as Caymanians? In the same year, Spain and England signed a treaty to state that England has rule over Jamaica and other Caribbean islands. This helps us to recognize more that the English has full protection and control over us. When England took Cayman from Spain, Jamaica ruled over Cayman for a little while. Ah, wow. But one more question. What was the Ten Seals and when was it wrecked? Ah, the Ten Seals was the most famous shipwreck in the Cayman Islands. The fleet of the 10 ships got wrecked from surrounding reef. This was in 1794, and the ships were on its way from the States to Jamaica. Well, Mr. Dowell, I set out to win this competition. But even if I don't, the time spent with you today, hearing about how these islands came to be, is worth far more as you have made a profound impact on my life. Thank you. I want you to now go share more about our pride and joy, this beloved Isle, Cayman Islands. Sir, I've been thinking, can I invite you over to my class to speak more about history? You know a lot, and I would like for you to share more about your history with my class. I would love to. Perhaps our brightest hope for the future lies in the lessons of the past, lest we forget. Thank you.